Patriots-Titans this week. Malcolm Butler back in the focus, and of course that means it's time to revisit the Super Bowl. Alex Barth, Evan Lazar with you from Gillette Stadium, and Malcolm Butler will be up against the Patriots this week. We want to talk more about the last time he was involved in a game with the Patriots. Although I guess you could say he wasn't involved, right?
Yeah.
Benched for all of Super Bowl 52 outside of one special teams play. And, you know, at the time it seemed puzzling. Butler, at one point in his Patriot career, I think you could argue was a top 5 cornerback in football.
Whoa.
All right, I said could argue.
Yeah.
We'll have that discussion another time. He was an all-pro in 2016. He was
a pro.
He's come a long way from that, now considered possibly the worst corner in football if you look at some of the metric stats. Is this giving Bill Belichick any vindication here that you know, Malcolm Butler suddenly turned?
Here's the thing. I've said this from the very beginning. We don't know the whole story with Malcolm Butler and Bill Belichick and the meaning behind the benching. We don't know. I don't know if we'll ever know. Maybe someday, eventually, when both guys are retired, it will come out from one of the party or the next or whatever. Here's the point. In no way does this year's play of Malcolm Butler justify the fact that Jordan Richards and Johnson Batamosi were on the field over Malcolm Butler in that Super Bowl. He was still the Patriots' best option on the field as one of the 4 or 5 defensive backs that they went to on a regular basis in that game. He was still the best option opposite of Stephon Gilmore, I think, even over Eric Rowe, even though he did have a worse season last year. Butler's season last year was kind of a precursor, I think, to what the struggles that we've seen this year.
It was up and down, but remember, he came on strong at the end of that season in 2017.
He had his moments.
And I think it's the opposite. We'll discuss this in another video you can find on the CLNS YouTube page. I think his play this year is due to him being benched as opposed to him being or his play this year is affected by him being benched as opposed to it being the other way around. He was a better option. He was the right matchup. This does not, you know, him playing poorly in 2018 doesn't affect how I feel about the end of 2017. I know Greg Bedard said yesterday on Felger and Maz that, all of a sudden things are right. And you can, you know, hindsight's perfect. Hindsight's perfect in 2020. You can look back on decisions. Look at John Madden saying the Patriots should have played for overtime in the Super Bowl in 2001.
Good call, John.
If the Patriots throw an interception and they turn the ball over on that drive, of course he's right.
Yeah.
When you use information from 6 months later to try to claim you made your opinion was correct back in February, now in November, is asinine. Anybody who is telling you, I'm sorry, this just
I'm enjoying this. I'm loving
Anybody
this right
who
now.
tells you that you got glasses, Barth, going right now. Anyone who tells you that benching Malcolm Butler was the correct decision, if they want to tell you that and they have some evidence based on the 2017 season, fine. Anybody who wants to tell you that that was correct based on what's happening this year is looking for an easy way out of an argument. He was not benched because of his play. Something happened. We don't know. Something happened that had to have been either an injury or probably a disciplinary issue for why he didn't play. I cannot believe this topic is being brought back up this week.
Oh, come on. You knew it was going to be talked about. It's Titans week.
Oh, no, I knew it was going to be talked about him being benched, but to say people all of a sudden are okay with him being benched?
Right.
Because he sucks in Tennessee?
Yeah.
He wasn't playing in Tennessee when it happened.
No.
My God.
This is the most fired up I've ever seen you. I'm enjoying this a lot. I think that the biggest thing here, and I don't really need to say any more because you just kind of laid it out. No, you laid it all out perfectly right there. He was still the best option in that game. He was still the best option in that game a week after he signed with Tennessee. He's probably still the best option in that game right now, even as bad as he's played in Tennessee. We'll get to some of the things later in the week of what's going on with Malcolm Butler in Tennessee, but one of the biggest things I want to point out before we wrap this up is just that the Patriots do a great job of putting guys in positions to succeed. One thing that they knew about Malcolm Butler was they knew that he wasn't a top-flight cornerback last year, especially when his play started to decline, so they gave him a lot of help. Right? It was Stephon Gilmore that was really the guy that was on an island with a lot of receivers, and it was Malcolm on the other side. And I think that his confidence is just completely shook by that. I thought maybe it would go the other way when he signed a big mega deal and kind of the Titans gave him that confidence back a little bit by saying, yeah, you're worth the money to us, but it really hasn't. And last year in the Super Bowl, you put him on Torrey Smith, you put Stephon Gilmore on Alshon Jeffrey the entire game, like they both should have been. Take Jordan Richards off the field, take Johnson Batamosi off the field. I would think that Tom Brady has 6 Super Bowl rings.
Let me ask you this then, closing point. He wasn't going to play in that game for one reason or another. I think we know that.
Yeah.
Was there a way for them to win that game without him on the field?
Sure. I mean, they almost won the game without him on the field, right? I mean, they only lost the game by a touchdown. I think a lot of people, it was such an ugly performance on defense that it kind of sounds like they lost the game by 30 points.
It was Big 12 football.
Yeah, I mean, they lost the game by 8 points. So, yeah, there was definitely a way. They could have made a play. The defense, other guys could have made plays. Devin McCourty was out there. Trey Flowers was out there. A lot of the guys that are out there on Sunday night against the Packers that made plays were out there in that game, and they just didn't make plays that night. That's just the way that football goes sometimes.
Revisiting the Malcolm Butler decision, hopefully for the last time from Gillette Stadium. He's Evan Lazar. I'm Alex Barth. Thanks for watching.